Well, folks, with Cheltenham just 3 weeks away now, as ever, you are very welcome back to your latest dose of festival focus goodness, the show in which David Mullins and I have handpicked our thoughts on the key performances from the last 7 days. We're going to kick off, David, last Thursday at Sandown Park. You wear it well, daughter of Midnight legend. You wear it well, a convincing scorer, I think it's fair to say, of the Grade 2 Mares Novices hurdle, keeping on very strongly over 2.5 miles, and in doing so, beating some at least fair opposition, including the Irish visitor, Deeply Superficial. She now is generally 8-1, although you can get 10-1 for the Mares Novice at Cheltenham. You wear it well. Did this, in your mind, have the hallmarks of a festival-worthy display from her?
Yeah, I'm not sure about festival. She was impressive. She won well. Her form mainly is on softer, heavy ground, and it looked a bit more testing in the going description the other day in Sandown with a stiff finish. If it rained, maybe 8 or 10-1, I'd be waiting till the morning to back her to see what way the ground is definitely going to be. Midnight Legends, all like a bit of cutting it. Normally 3-mile chasers. I think it could be a bit sharper, but the Hermes Allen run, she's backed that up. That's good enough to be going there if the ground is on the right side for her.
Good stuff. Also Thursday, but spinning across the pond to Ireland, to Clonmel, where a horse called Monty Star took the Grade 3 staying novice. Henry de Bromhead also had Hidden Valley Lake, who was odds on, but it went the way of Monty Star, who ran on really quite nicely to win that race. The bookies trimmed him to 8-1 for the Albert Bartlett Monty Star for the de Bromhead squad. Would that, in your mind, be a fair reflection?
Yeah, I seen this horse run in Navan, and I actually rode him out about 2 years ago in Colin Bowes when they sent him down there to get his education. I was always a big believer and a big fan of the horse. I couldn't really believe he got beat in Navan, but obviously that was a fair horse to Jigginstown. It was a good run, and he's come out and won a Grade 3 well, over 3 mile. He's a half brother to Monty, as I said. He was second in an Albert Bartlett. This lad reminded me an awful lot of him. I think he's a fair horse. Hard to say who's going to win that race. The favourite normally gets beat every year. It's not one for me to be betting on, but I do like this horse a lot.
Well, switch from Cheltenham thoughts to maybe Grand National thoughts, because at Haydock Park on Saturday, in the Haydock Park Grand National trial, which is always an entertaining race to watch, the betting market anticipated a Venetia Williams trained success. She did exactly that. And in fact, she delivered a 1-3 in the race, just not with the horse that most people spent the morning talking about, because her 7-2 favourite on the day, Fontaine Collonges, could manage only 10th. But Venetia being Venetia in these types of races, she was still celebrating because she won this with the 18-1 Quick Wave, and she had the stablemate Cloudy Glen 10 lengths or so back in third. So Quick Wave off the back of that win at Haydock, now cut to a general 25-1 for Aintree. You've won the Grand National. So this Quick Wave, would he fill you with confidence if, for example, let's just play devil's advocate and say the week before the race, your agent's phone rang and said, is David Mullins available? We'd like him to ride Quick Wave in a Grand National.
I'd be holding out a bit longer, Tom, hoping there'd be something a bit more unexposed comes along. The Grand National, to me, it's Noble Yates, the horse I won at Unrule the World. They were novices, they were unexposed. I think this guy's after winning 3 of his last 4. He's Venetia's on heavy ground over a trip. She normally wins those races anyway. I just think he's a bit exposed to be jumping up and down about. I don't think you win Grand National trials and go on to win a Grand National anymore.
Interesting. Stick with Haydock, because I'm very much looking forward to your opinion. And folks, definitely take stock of this. Bowes Zenith at Haydock Park in the Victor Ludorum. This looked like a convincing victory, and bookies saw fit to trim in between 14-1 and 20-1 for the Triumph Hurdle in just over 3 weeks' time. He was sent off favourites. Tom Cannon got a lovely tune out of Bowes Zenith. Is Bowes Zenith a Triumph player?
If you think he's 14-20-1 and you fancy him, I'll give you 33s. I don't fancy him at all. Autai and Haydock are very flat tracks. He ran in Sandown. He walked from the back of the last. He barely got over it. Maybe they have an excuse for that. But no, I don't think you can knock any of Willie's three in Blood Destiny, Lossiemouth and Gallimar. So no, not for me, I'm afraid. I'll give you whatever you want on him, Tom. Special for you.
It's a game of opinions. That's what we like. Opinions were plenty going into Saturday about what might happen in the Grade 1 Ascot chase, because, of course, the big talking point, Shishkin, would he excel at his new discipline? First time in a tongue tie, first run since a wind operation, and, of course, the end result, a dominant win and a 5th Grade 1 success for the excellent Shishkin, who absolutely flourished. There were no questions afterwards about would he stay that 2 mile 5, and he was putting those disappointments in last year's Queen Mother Champion chase, more recently in December's Tingle Creek, well and truly in the dustbin. I'll frame it like this, David Mullins. With Allaho sadly absent, is it fair now that Shishkin is deemed by the bookies to be the one to aim at in the Ryanair? Depending on where you shop around, he's as short as evens, he's as big as 7-4.
I didn't think a whole lot of the race with Fakir the Dairies going off favourite. I thought he was a lucky winner, and I thought if you pause the race halfway down the hill in Thurles, he was going to finish a bad 4th. So I didn't really rate the race, but this looked like Shishkin back, and he looked like he relished the trip. He got on the bridle, he jumped really well, he made ground everywhere. We know Pic Dory likes those quick jumping tracks, maybe a bit flat tracks as well, but this looks to be the Shishkin of old, and if he is, you have to get on for the Ryanair.
There you go, strong words indeed. Stick with Saturday, but we will transfer countries. We'll go to your back garden, Gorham Park, where, of course, it was Red Mills Chase Day, won not by Auton Couleur, but by Janidil for Willie Mullins and Rachel Blackmore. Off the back of this, if Shishkin's favourite for the Ryanair, would Janidil have an each-way chance off the back of this display in Gorham Park? The bookies rate him something in the region of 8-1.
Yeah, Janidil is a fair horse. I always thought a lot of him. He got 2 heavy falls. He took a very bad fall in Fairyhouse and Leopardstown one day, and sometimes he threw in an ordinary run after that. So I'll forgive him that, and I seen him in Gorn, and I thought he looked very big. I thought there was plenty of improvement to come from him. It was great to see him getting on the bridle, and when he jumped into the race, as soon as Blackmore put him in there, he took off. He knew his job. So if you fancied Fakir the Dairies to win the Ascot chase, that form does tie in with Hot on Clare. He was going to beat him very, very decisively. So he's not too far away. I don't think he'd beat Shishkin, but at them prices, you'd have to have a bit of money each way on him.
Well, again, you look at this Ryanair market, we've now got a resounding strong new favourite in Shishkin. We've got Janidil at 8-1. We've got the chatter that Conflated will go the longer route in the stronger Gold Cup. If you only had a fiver in your pocket and I said to you, you can only spend it on one of the two, would you have the fiver on Shishkin to win the Ryanair, or would you have €2.50 each way on Janidil at 8-1?
I think I could put the fiver on Shishkin. Yeah.
Say no more. Finally, Sunday, Punchestown, Ballyburn. Looks like we might have a new buzzer in the champion bumper market, because this Ballyburn was a winner of a point-to-point back in October. I noticed the fact that he was pulling very hard in the early stages at Punchestown on Sunday, but even so, he still won going away. And you bear in mind, he wasn't even sent off favourite on Sunday, which is maybe a tiny bit surprising in retrospect. 7-1 for the champion bumper. Would you paint that as a fair barometer of his chances next month in Cheltenham if he goes there?
I would think it's a fair price. I don't think he'll win the champion bumper, but he's the most impressive horse I've seen this year going forward. I think this could be a Gold Cup horse. I seen him win his point to point. He looked like he jumped in. He was about 5 lengths down with about 3/4 of a furlong to go, and I think he won 5 or 6 lengths on the bridle. It was an amazing performance that day, and I think how free he was in Punchestown as well on Sunday, to put his head down and gallop to the line. I think this is an exciting bumper horse I've seen. I hope he doesn't run the champion bumper. I don't think he'll win it. I think he'll need another year.
You see, folks, even when David Mullins says no, maybe he says yes just for a future assignment. Put that one in the notebook for future battles ahead in 2024 and beyond, perhaps. as ever, customary fashion, as we sign off from Festival Focus for another week, David Mullins' performance from the cluster that we've assembled. Will it be any one of these? You Wear It Well, Monty's Star, Quick Wave, Bo Zenith, definitely not, Shishkin, Janidil, or Ballyburn, David?
I have to give it to Shishkin. He was very good.
That's the one. The days are ticking by. It is just 3 weeks away. We'll keep them rolling as and when they pop up. And the week before Cheltenham, incidentally, we will be going out on a limb and doing 4 individual inserts, which will be David's strongest opinions of the 4 days. So make sure you're around to pick up those in the usual space. But for this week, from David and myself, good luck, over and out.